Hi and welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be answering that all-important question, what to have in your camera bag when you're on a budget or are a beginner photographer. Looking back in time, I was one of those typical beginner photographers who would carry anything and everything in the camera bag for the sake of carrying it with you. I've certainly learnt my lesson, and I hope that this video and the list I'm about to give is of use to you. It will save you a lot of backaches and shoulder aches. It will help you identify what items you need to take with you, and hopefully for those of you who are on a budget, make sure you bring the more appropriate things to photo shoots. Before I start with the list, I'm going to go through a little bit about the camera bag. Now you will find, if you've not already got a camera bag, that they come in all shapes and all sizes. You can get satchels, over shoulder bags, bags that clip onto your belt, backpacks, all sorts of bags, anything that you want basically. I personally go for backpacks because I find it easier to carry, but you know, your preference is yours. You need to find something that's suitable for you. I will say that camera bags can be quite expensive, however don't be put off by that. At the end of the day, a bag is a bag. If you're able to find a good quality but cheap camera bag, then obviously you go for that at the beginning. You can then always sell it off in the future and then upgrade to an even better camera bag. And that's essentially what I did. I started off with a second-hand camera bag, and then finally I've managed to get myself a TOG LDN bag, which I absolutely adore. Obviously a few things to think about when it comes to camera bags, making sure it's the right size for you. There's no point buying a huge backpack when you've only got one camera, maybe a prime lens. You know, at the end of the day you've got an empty bag or empty half bag for no entire reason. If you are going to be outdoors quite frequently, then make sure it's got at least water resistance or is waterproof. And then finally just make sure it's suitable for how long you want to wear it for as well. So the first item on the list is the all-important camera and lens. I have here my Nikon D700 with a 50mm prime lens, and it's perfect for me. I love the lens, I love the camera as well. If you have another lens, then obviously you should take that along with you. But again, only take what you think is appropriate for the type of photography you're going to be doing, okay? The second all-important item is actually carrying a spare battery with you. Now at least have one. If you have got a second one, then obviously take that as well. They are relatively inexpensive and are quite easy to get hold of. What I will say is if you are doing photography outdoors, especially on cold winter days or up on mountain slopes, with that spare battery, keep it in a pocket nearest to your body, so an internal pocket of a jacket or a coat. Batteries have a tendency to lose their power quite quickly in the cold, so hence why if you put it in your jacket pocket, it's kept warm for most of the time, whereas if you do put it in your camera bag, it will start to cool down quite quickly. Item number 3, SD cards, CF cards, or just any memory card that your camera takes. One thing I will say for this is don't put them in just like this. Try and get a tin, which will keep it quite secure. Just make sure that they are protected, because the last thing you want is to go and put your camera bag down or to go and sit on something only to find that these bend in half or indeed break. And again, just be wary that they do have their contacts on them as well, so again try and avoid any contact with water. With the CF cards they have the pins as well, so just be wary of that. Item number 4 is having a spare lens cloth or a lens wipe that you can use to keep your camera and your lens clean. There's nothing worse than having water drops on your lens, or indeed on your own glasses if you wear them as well. At the end of the day, a driver does not drive around in the rain with no windscreen wipers. So keep these handy, keep one in a pocket and the other one in a camera bag. They are quite thin. Obviously this is a napkin or a handkerchief, so it's quite easy to carry as well. And every so often just make sure your lens is clean and you have one of these with you at all times. Item number 5 is carry a plastic bag. You're probably asking why take a plastic bag when you're taking a camera bag. My suggestion is to take this just in case A, it's raining, B, your camera bag actually manages to break, or C, you just need something to sit on. There's nothing worse than if your camera bag breaks, having nothing to hold your valuable equipment in. And also, if it does start to rain and your bag isn't waterproof, then you can always put a plastic bag or a bag for life, whatever you want to call it, around the outside of your camera bag. Additionally, if you're going to be doing photo shoots for other people, then it's ideal to have a plastic bag with you so that if you have to kneel on damp ground, or if you're kneeling on the floor, or if you're asking those who you're photographing to sit on a damp surface, then it's not going to get yours or their clothes dirty and damp. The next few items are actually also about yourself. So not only should we be looking after our camera and the equipment in our own camera bag, but it's also important to look after yourself too. And it is absolutely key you take water with you. I don't know why I'm slapping my legs, but you need to take water with you. Okay, 1 bottle of water. Now, it doesn't have to be water, it could be a fizzy drink, it could be squash, whatever you want to call it. Just take a bottle of water with you. Preferably, if you can, get a reusable bottle as well. I have one with a hook on the end so I can clip it to the outside of my camera bag. And just use it when you need to, especially on a hot day during summer. The last thing you want is a frog in your throat, as we say in the UK, or just a really dry cough and not having anything to drink. So make sure you have some water. The next item on the list, or item number 7, is the all-important hand sanitizer, wet wipes or tissues, anything you can get your hands on to keep your hands clean. Obviously, in this day and age at the moment with COVID-19, it's certainly important at the moment to make sure your hands are clean. And also, whilst you are out and about walking in the countryside, there's nothing worse than putting your hand on the fence or on a gate to go through to the next field, to only find that your hands are then dirty, and that then gets on your camera. So keep at least some bottle of hand sanitizer. They are quite small, so you can chuck them in your bag and just keep them with you at all times. And then the last item on the list to at least have for yourself whilst you are out and about is a miniature first aid kit. I've got one in a little pouch that I can hook to all sorts of things, and in it I have things like plasters, safety pins, a miniature bandage if I've got one, gloves, or at least disposable gloves, and perhaps a resuscitation mask as well, just in case. Again, the last thing you want is to be wandering around, and perhaps if you've got some old shoes on, or the model has got shoes on that are rubbing the back of the ankles, at least a plaster will resolve that. And obviously you never know when you might come into an emergency or an incident, so it's also useful to have this on hand just in case. And the next few items are really just looking out for those who you may be photographing as well. So you may be doing a photography session with a couple or just an individual. And it's always a nicety to have a few little things just to help them feel confident in their photo shoots. So the next item I have on my list is actually to bring along a mirror. Again, they could be super cheap, super handy as well. So this is just a two-way mirror. You always see hello. A two-way mirror. It's super handy, so if someone wants to do up a little bit of their makeup, then you can just let them borrow your mirror and do their makeup up there, or tidy up their hair as well. Or perhaps you need to do it before you actually go and greet your particular photography client. And then the last item on my list is like a miniature amenity kit, perfect for those ladies or perhaps gents who have long hair, and if you're photographing outside, ways to keep that hair under control, or indeed your own hair under control as well. I mean, my hair is bad enough as it is. So, in my little amenity kit, I have hair bubbles, hair clips, bobby pins, and even a vanity kit that I've picked up from a hotel, which might have some makeup wipes and tissues and all that kind of stuff. Again, tiny little pouch that I can chuck in my camera bag, and then if anyone does need to borrow a hair bubble, you've got plenty spare. And to be fair, hair bubbles and bobby pins cost less than £1 for a small pack of them. So I've just decided to change up the camera angle a little bit so you can see inside my bag. I'm lucky with this particular bag, it has got a front pocket here if you did want to use it for something else. But otherwise, if I lift the lid, voila. Obviously, as soon as we open it, we can see here I've got my camera, which to be honest is most of the time around my neck anyway. But if I am carrying it in this bag, it goes in the top pocket. I have my lens wipes, my plastic carrier bag as well, hand sanitizer and bottle of water. You will see I have put it down at the bottom of the bag for the time being, because again the last thing you want is your water to leak onto your camera. In these two small pockets here I do also have my memory cards and those spare batteries as well, and then at the top you can just see little pouches, just little pouches here that will have my first aid kit and then like an amenity kit for the people who I'm doing photographs for. Thanks very much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful, and I hope that you'll soon be filling up your camera bag with items that you need to take with you and not just a load of weight. If it was useful, please comment below on the things that you've decided to put in your camera bag, and perhaps also even give us a like as well. I'll also be doing more videos on other similar topics again soon, so if you are interested in keeping tabs on what's going on, then make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for watching and see you again soon.